Hello, hello. Hi, everyone. I'm waiting for people to hop on, but I'll just let you guys all know, those who will be rewatching the live, that this is an amazing live this month for Experiment Envy. I'm so thrilled because we are going to be talking about Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Let's see. Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Good. I'm just adding Anne. I'm so happy to see you. You look beautiful.
Thank you. So
Hi,
you.
Anne.
Hi.
How are you both?
Good.
Well, thank you for hopping on. You guys, that was just smooth. No technical difficulties there. I'm so excited to be on this live with you guys today. And I'm just thrilled that we get to do this Experiment Envy for the month of October and really talk about Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So I'm going to get started by letting the viewers know I am Amber Perkins. I'm on Envy's education team. And I'm going to have you guys introduce yourself. So Tanya, we'll start with you and then we'll move to Anne.
All right. My name is Tanya Ramsey, and I'm the client care manager here at Wigs.com.
Awesome. Thank you. And Anne?
Hi, my name is Anne. Just to let you know a little bit about myself, I'm 56 years old. I live on the East Coast in New Jersey, and I have stage 4 metastatic breast cancer. I've been living with it for 2 years, and I'm so excited to share my journey with you today. So thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Anne. Well, we're just us here at Envy and Wigs.com. We're just thrilled to have this opportunity to hear your stories and be inspired and just give you the platform to share that with everybody viewing today. As most of you guys know, Breast Cancer Awareness Month is celebrated in October to raise awareness about breast cancer. And it just helps us promote early detection, support those going through it, who have gone through it, who have loved ones going through it. And it's just really special that you guys are here with us on this live today. So I'm going to say thank you so much, but I really am so grateful. We're all grateful at Envy to hear your stories. So we'll get started with your personal stories. And I just wanted to ask you both how you first discovered you had breast cancer. So starting with Tanya, how did your family and friends support you through your journey? Add that to what you let us know, but first dive into how you first discovered.
Yes, and I agree with Anne. Thank you so much for having me on. It's such a pleasure to share my story and to help women out there if I can. But I basically, about a year ago, found a lump in my left breast, and it was odd because I had just gone in for my mammogram, like every woman should do in February, but nothing was found. And but I have dense breast tissue, which a lot of women do, so it's tough to find. And I we don't know that it was there then, but found a lump, had to go in to get it checked, and they had me go back in for an ultrasound, and then we still couldn't determine what it was. We thought maybe a cyst, and still had to go back in for a, they had to do a, what do you call it? Where they take a little piece of it out.
Like a
and
biopsy?
Biopsy, that's the word, yes. And they determined that it was breast cancer. I was stage 2 invasive ductal carcinoma, which was, devastating to hear. It was, just like the floor dropped out from underneath me. And oddly enough, I was here at work, but, my family was so supportive. My friends were so supportive, and my call it my work family, was very, very supportive. So everyone just stepped up and checked in on me, made sure I was okay, and would even just send me a message just to kind of lift my spirits. It kept me going. And, you know, I'm so thankful for my friends, my family, and my work family that I have here. So.
Thank you so much for being so transparent and vulnerable, and sharing that with us. I know that it can be difficult, but I know that those who are watching and hearing what you have to say and hearing your story, it's so helpful to those out there. So, Anne, would you like to let us know your story and about your diagnosis and how you found out as well?
So my story is very similar. I simply found a lump in my breast. I was feeling fine. I'd never had an earlier stage of breast cancer. I was so busy, I like barely made it to my doctor's appointment. And then when I got there, imagine my shock when they told me that I was what they call de novo, when you're diagnosed with stage 4 advanced cancer right from the beginning. So the doctor explained to me that I have a subtype called triple negative, which is particularly aggressive, and it comes with a very grim prognosis at stage 4, and that I would I would have to have treatment for the rest of my life, however long or short that might be. I'll never ring a bell, I'll never complete treatment, and then I will eventually die of breast cancer. And I couldn't believe my ears. In that moment, everything stopped.
So how did your family and Anne, how did your family and friends support you through your journey?
So I had a really hard time telling them at first. I didn't tell them for 2 days because it was an unbearable weight I was going to be putting on them. But when I finally got up the courage to share with my 84-year-old mom that I had terminal cancer, she just put her hands on my hands and she just simply said, "I'm going to take care of you." And she has every day since. She's my biggest cheerleader. And then my whole family organized a encouragement party before I had chemo. So they just showered me with inspirational gifts, motivational books and candies and socks and anything that you could need in chemo. They all wrote me a letter that I could read in the chemo chair. So that was like the best gift that I ever had. And then all 4 of my children and 3 grandchildren, the night before my first chemo, came and slept over, all of us in the same bed. Like, they couldn't even stand to be away from me. I never felt more loved in my whole life. And then when I went through treatment, my children, the 4 of them rotated. I never had to go alone. And their presence meant everything to me. And then one more thing is I've been active with different patient groups, and I did a gala where I walked the runway as a cancer patient, and my family, it was in Waco, Texas, they all got airline tickets and came, and seeing them at the end of that runway meant everything. So your family's presence, it just means everything to me. Family means everything. So thank you guys if you're watching.
Thank you so much for sharing, Anne. To both of you guys, what resources did you find most helpful during this time? We'll start with Anne. Anne, you tell me, and then Tanya.
Okay. So resources, I feel that I went to therapy, and more therapy. I had one-on-one. I went to group therapy with other metastatic patients. I've recently done music therapy, which was the best thing that I ever did. Connecting with other patients in the same boat as me is incredible and empowering and wonderful. And keeping a positive attitude is the best resource. It means everything. So, and I also eat a very healthy plant-based vegan diet. I exercise. When I would have chemo crashes, I would walk it out. My mom made me do that. She's like, a body in motion stays in motion. And no matter on the toughest days, I just keep going. I get up and breathe and keep going.
That's so inspiring. Amazing. What about you, Tanya?
Honestly, like Anne mentioned, other women going through this journey, man, they just really surround you and give you such great advice. They're very honest with you about what you might face, which I loved. I needed that. Breastcancer.org was really great. I loved seeing their just everything they post. It's just so informative. And you realize there's so many other women out there that are going through this, and it's just so helpful. And I would say, you know, like Anne also mentioned, I made sure to exercise and continue walking. That was kind of my meditation time. Definitely, you know, try to stay in that positive mindset is so important. But, and, you know, talking it out, that's really important too, getting those feelings out.
Yes, I completely agree with talking it out, those emotions and feelings, whether that be writing, therapy, like Anne mentioned, finding those who have or are going through similar things. So I want to talk about awareness and education. What were some of the biggest challenges that you faced during treatment? Let's start with Tanya.
Biggest challenges. You know, being in this industry, I know like a huge, huge obstacle for us as women is losing our hair. And it was an obstacle for me, but I thankfully work where I work. And so I just thought, oh, I have the option of so many different types of hairs and styles I can wear. So for me, I would say the toughest part was the fatigue. I was just always tired. I didn't have the energy I was so used to having at 45, 44 years old. And, you know, there were days that my stomach was upset. I didn't feel well. Nothing tasted like it used to. I love to eat. And food just didn't taste the same. I would crave something and then eat it. And I was just sad because it just didn't taste the same. So I would say those were obstacles.
Okay. What about you, Anne?
So I did physically pretty good with treatment. My biggest challenges were anxiety and fear, and the impact that it had on my family, especially my kids, so afraid that something could happen to me. So that was an especially hard piece. And also, I have a full-time job, and juggling my job responsibilities and my healthcare and my treatments and PET scans and everything. But just like Tanya, I have a very supportive work family, so it worked.
That's so fantastic, you know, that you had the support and the people to turn to. We kind of already talked about this, but I was going to ask again if there were, aside from therapy and walking, were there any other specific coping mechanisms or practices to manage stress during your journey? I love that you touched on, you know, having that meditation time. Is there anything else that helped you? Either
And
of you guys
yeah.
could pipe up.
I'll just say that I try to focus on not focus on the fear, but focus on starting to live and really living. And I connected with patient groups. I am actually connected with a patient group for metastatic breast cancer patients to do bucket list travel. And I travel with 50 women with stage 4 breast cancer. And it's the most powerful, wonderful thing. I just got back from Hawaii. I'm living. So that really helps.
Yes, living. I love that. Well, Tanya, you kind of mentioned the somewhat struggle of hair. You do, you know, work at Wigs.com, so you had that. But I wanted to touch on wigs and confidence. To both of you, what was your experience with hair loss and how did it impact your self-image? Tanya, let's hear how you navigated this, and then we'll move to Anne.
So, you know, I knew it was coming, but I didn't know when. I was going to have a whole shave party. I had it planned out in my head, I thought, but it didn't work out that way. One morning, because I was not expecting it, I showered, I washed my hair, and I went to go brush it, and the clumps were just coming out. So I said, okay, I've got to just bite the bullet and shave it this morning, so I did. Oddly enough, for me, it was kind of empowering because I had control of it. You know, I wasn't sitting there going, oh gosh, clumps of hair falling out. I just said, okay, I knew this was coming. Let's do it. And I did it. And, you know, I rocked the ball for a little bit. And then I said, okay, time to start wearing hair and make it fun and enjoy it. And, you know, I just so kept in mind so many of our clients and what they're experiencing and going through. And I had things happen like they have. One time my wig fell off as I was walking in the mall. So I just kind of went with it, and it just gave me such good insight and really just made me gain more confidence, I would say.
To have the options for alternative hair and wigs.
Yes.
And I love, you have a beautiful wig on right now. I know you sport your natural hair as a cute short pixie.
It is.
So you can do both. You can do it all. What about you, Anne, with the wigs and the hair loss?
Yeah, so I can't even talk about wigs without smiling. I love them. So I went on a chemotherapy that did not cause complete alopecia. And a lot of people are so surprised when I say that because they don't realize that there's chemos that are like that. So for the first 6 months, my hair held up great. If you saw me in the grocery store, you would have never known that I was sick. But right around 7 months, my hair started to get break off at the roots and get really brittle. So first I tried hair extensions and I loved them. They look so good. I couldn't believe I didn't know about them before because my hair was always we always called it skinny hair. And then eventually my hair got so thin, it just wasn't a viable option for me anymore. So it was time for me to go into a full wig. And that first time putting on that full wig was absolutely life-changing for me. I felt like I was looking at someone in the mirror that I had lost. And I felt like I had this sense of normalcy again. And I felt so empowered and so happy. Even my doctor tells me, every time you talk about wigs, you just can't stop smiling. And actually, I've been on a chemo break for 15 months and my hair has gone normal and I still wear wigs. I'll wear wigs for the rest of my life. I wish I knew about them before.
There's so many people who I've spoken to who start wearing wigs because of, medical reasons and chemo. And whether their hair comes back or not, they are hooked because of so many different reasons. It makes me smile that wigs make you smile, and that they empowered you and helped you during your journey.
And it helps my family too, because if I don't look sick, it's hard to remember that I have a terminal illness, right? I just look like mom.
Oh, yes, that makes sense. Let's see, I was going to ask you, and what you already expressed with your own experience with alternative hair and wigs dives into this, how wigs can help women feel empowered during and after treatment. Tanya, do you wear wigs still, or where are you with them?
I do. Some days, it's hot in Texas.
Yes.
But we're finally starting to cool down. When it got really hot, I just kind of rocked my short hair. I was kind of welcoming it growing back. And but I already plan, as we're cooling down and going towards the winter months, rocking some wigs again. I love it. It's just, I like doing braids and beanies and all the things in the winter time. So I will continue to wear them.
Did either of you guys have, with wig wearing, did you have any issues with cap sensitivity or, discomfort because of, scalp sensitivity and things like that?
That's a great question. Do you want to go first, Anne? You can.
I didn't have any issues. I guess because I always had some hair. I would imagine if I had been bald that would happen.
Okay, that's good to know. Well, I am so grateful that you guys are sharing this. Many times as you guys were sharing your story, I just felt, I don't know what the word would be, just so inspired and, those deep feelings. So I know those who are watching and who will watch afterwards, they're so grateful for your vulnerability and transparency about your stories. I did want to point out to everybody watching that we have this partnership with Wigs.com, and with every 10%, there's 10% donated to breastcancer.org with every NV wig purchased at Wigs.com. So, help with the cause and support. And if you're looking for that NV style, definitely head to Wigs.com, and we will continue to support that cause. I did want to open up the floor to any questions that may have come in. Let's see. I know I asked you both many questions and dug deep, so we'll see. There's a comment that says prayers for you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
There's another comment that says, so sorry, there are more and more younger ones with this. So that just raising that awareness is so important. And, to go in for early detection, getting those scans. Are there any other things that you guys want to add for those watching to help raise that awareness and the importance of, promoting that early detection?
I would say, as soon as you can start getting mammograms, get your mammogram. There's other options out there. If they tell you you have dense breast tissue, there's other options of how to get checked. But go and get checked. It's so important, and it's much better to know and face it head on and do what you need to do to fight it if you have it than to not know.
Thank you. I also see somebody said, thank you for sharing your stories, beautiful, inspiring women. Thank you for sharing your stories. You are an inspiration. Where would you suggest donating gently used wigs?
We have clients that have gently used wigs that just kind of give them to people they know. I don't know an exact resource.
I think the hospitals take them because I go to
Yes.
MSK. And New York City has a boutique and they have I could get their contact information if they want to DM me.
Okay, I will have them reach out to you. Definitely reach out. I knew that many people have donated to hospitals. Let me see if there's anything else. You are both inspiring and strong. Thank you for sharing.
Love that.
All right.
I was just going to mention, Amber, you asked about sensitivity. I did want to mention that I didn't have sensitivity, but I did find that certain cap constructions or sizing, I would get headaches sometimes wearing them all day. So I found alternatives, like I would go with a hand tie or go with a something to wear underneath, and it makes all the difference. So I just wanted to put that out there because, women are having to wear these all day, and you do have options and things you can do.
Definitely. So you feel like having a softer barrier between it or choosing a cap that had a softer material helped with the headaches?
It did. I didn't have them anymore. It was
Okay.
great. Yeah.
Okay. Because I know you do hear a lot about skin sensitivity. So I can see how having a fully hand-tied stretchy cap could definitely help with comfort.
Yeah, it did. It definitely did.
Are there any closing remarks that either of you would like to share, or a message that you'd want to share with those who are feeling overwhelmed by their diagnosis?
I think I think my advice would be for the people that are supporting their loved ones that have cancer, to be present and to show up, and they'll never forget it. If you drive them to chemo, or I had a friend that would take me for ice cream after chemo. I'm vegan, so it was vegan ice cream every time after I had chemo, and it meant the world to me. And I think staying positive is the most important thing you can do for yourself. There's a saying that the only thing stronger than fear is hope. help them to find that hope, or find that hope. Wigs helped me find that hope. Yeah, so that's my message.
I just love your smile and your excitement and enthusiasm for, the family and the wigs and the things that really bring you that joy in life. I keep saying inspiring, but truly that's exactly what it is. And I love that you did talk about the loved ones, because that was something I did have, I was going to ask. What advice would you give to someone who is supporting a loved one going through breast cancer? Any comments on that, Tanya, or Anne again?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with everything Anne said. I think the person going through it, it is overwhelming. So having that support is so important, and it's not easy for them either, but they have to take themselves out of it and really just truly, like Anne said, be there. Even if it's a simple, I'm checking in, I love you, you got this. I had an aunt that would just check in and message me. It's so important, and it just lifted my spirits, and positivity, looking towards the goal and being positive is super important too.
Amber, your audio went out.
We can't hear you, Amber.
Amber, we can't hear you.
Uh-oh.
Amber, your audio went out.
I don't know if she can't hear us either.
Maybe. I can still hear you, Tanya.
No, I can hear you. I'm not sure why we can't hear her.
Maybe.
Amber? I think she figured it out.
Yeah, I think so too.
I love your story, Anne. That's so amazing.
I love your story too.
Thank you.
And I have to find out which wig you're wearing because I love it.
Hello?
Hello?
Okay. I'm wearing Lisa by Envy.
I love it, love it.
Thank you. Which one are you wearing?
Bobby by Envy.
I love that one.
Medium blonde, yeah.
I can hear you guys. Can you hear me?
Yes.
I don't know what happened, because you guys were muted on my end as well. That's weird. Technical difficulties, they always have to happen. I apologize about that. I know it was towards the end, but I didn't want to just hop off in silence. But just to go back, and hopefully this doesn't happen again before I can finish up. I just wanted to wrap it up and just, give you guys so much gratitude for being here and just sharing your stories. And I did want to mention that there is a giveaway that we will have, all the information down in the comment section for those who are watching. Also, before I totally, bleeped out, we were talking about wigs. Maybe you guys discussed that. What style are you wearing, Tanya?
Lisa. Lisa by
It is so beautiful on you, and that is one of my favorite Envy wigs. And what about you, Anne?
I'm wearing Bobby by Envy, and it's in medium blonde, and I love it.
It is so beautiful on you. I wore a Bobby yesterday in light blonde, and those flippy, fun ends are gorgeous.
I love it. But I love Tanya's. I have to get that one.
It's so comfortable, and it's human hair and synthetic. Uh-oh, we lost her again.
Oh no.
It's human hair and synthetic, so it's really like soft, and you can style it. I think I want to try waving it next.
Yeah, I love it.
Thank you. I love yours too. It's really pretty.
All right, we're back. We're back in action. But I think that's a wrap. Is there anything else you guys want to add?
No, thank you so much for
Thank you.
on. Really enjoyed it, and You look gorgeous. What wig are you wearing, by the way?
This is the Brianna in Golden Sandstone.
Beautiful.
Definitely one of my favorites.
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much again. And just a reminder to those who are watching, go and enter the giveaway and support the cause. Head to Wigs.com and check out those NB wigs because of that donation, that 10% donation to breastcancer.org. All right. We will see you guys next time.
See you.